Hey, sorry I'm a little late today. I was out of the office yesterday for a transfer fair, so I'm just now getting to you. I guess at this point, I think that I'm just gonna talk to you about my thoughts about the readings for this week. Well, I haven't done the readings yet for my poetry class, but I have for the Foundations of Interdisciplinary Inquiry class. And I just have to tell you that we've kind of left behind the theory of interdisciplinarity. Not, of course, we'll continue to talk about that, but we're now out of just textbook readings and readings about, the nature, what is interdisciplinarity, etc. And now we're into the course topic, which is fandom, reading into the meat and potatoes of the course. This is my blankie, sorry. It looks a little bit silly back here. It gets cold in here. Yeah, I have my heater on, so it's a little bit warmer, but it gets cold. So anyway, fandom is really a fascinating topic. And the readings this week, I have so many thoughts, and I know that's not really the purpose of this video, but I just kind of want to give you a snapshot of the kind of thinking that you're going to do in the class. Now, by the time you take this class, if you decide to do the MAIS, there might be a different instructor who uses a different lens, right, for discussing interdisciplinary inquiry. But fandom, wow, the thing that is sticking out in the readings for this week, for me personally, because I have a tendency to approach, I guess my sort of home viewpoint would be feminist, critical theory. And so I'm really drawn to the gender discussions in these readings. The way that female fans are treated differently. You hear so much about, the hysterical, the women, they tend to be characterized as, lusty, orgiastic, they're straying outside how we want women to behave vis-a-vis their own sexuality. Those 50 Shades of Grey fans and those Magic Mike fans, and the shippers, watching Supernatural and writing their lusty fanfic about the characters. And so we tend to characterize women as these overly lusty, overly emotional, inappropriately attached sort of fans, which is funny to me because have you ever watched a man watch football? He's really invested in a game, or God forbid if his team is in the Super Bowl. You want to talk about emotion and emotional attachment. Have you ever seen a man's man cave decorated with his favorite sports team? It's just like a living temple to, Patrick Mahomes or whatever. Cowboys fans, forget about it. I'm in Dallas, right? So the level of emotion and sort of this idyllic kind of treatment of these players, forget about Taylor Swift, right? Sports fandom is kind of viewed very differently, and it's very male dominated. It's more of a widespread, socially accepted type of fandom, I think. But we're talking about all different kinds of topics in this reading. We're talking about acan-fandom, which is you're a scholar fan. A lot of people go into fan studies because they're involved in one or more specific fandoms. And there's also the anti-fan, right? Where people kind of become obsessed with something to the extent that a fan would be, but it's out of more hate than love. And sometimes it's used to kind of put forth a political or social viewpoint that they already held. And then there's African American fandom, and the sort of lack of attention that's been paid to Black fans, and then of course gender. There's there's a really fascinating reading on Comicsgate, which I did not know was a thing. So it's cool because I live with, my boyfriend is a fan. He's a 49ers fan, a football fan. He was a basketball fan until the Mavericks traded Luka. And now he says he's never watching an NBA game ever again. I kind of believe him. He's also a very strong anti-fan of of LeBron James in particular, and very much so the Dallas Cowboys. He's a Marvel fan and a DC fan. He's also a, I guess you could say, an anti-fan of the Fast and the Furious movies. The vitriol that this man pours out against these things. So he's also African American, okay? And so there's a lot of things going on there that I get to witness. And I had an interesting talk with him last night about Comicsgate, because he does vaguely remember it. And anyway, fandom is fascinating. And you might not think that you're interested in it, but it's just such a, I mean, it's very obviously interdisciplinary lens, but also just a fascinating way to think about how and why people think the way they do and spend their time and money. I'm just really enjoying it. So this past week, we also got to hear from Cause, Dr. Nakvi, who is the head of the program. We just asked him a lot of questions about grad school, about how we're gonna approach our research, about his ideas for us, and also what if we, how to know if you wanna go forward with the PhD. And he just sat there and talked to us for like an hour, and it was literally just like whatever questions we had, we got to ask him. So it's really a special thing to have that kind of access to the program head and to faculty here. And we have that same kind of relationship with Dr. Hammonds, our instructor. They're just both very accessible to us, and that makes it's just a level of personalized care for us as scholars, as students, and as people that you just don't really get a lot of other places. So I feel very fortunate. I think it's such a great personalized experience. I feel like my course in the fall is probably going to be an independent study. I really want to research women in the far right, especially in digital culture, and I have a few choices for who I might do that independent study with right here in my department. And so I'm really looking forward to that. It's just so cool to get to be able to research the things that I am interested in and see how they might carry forward into bigger projects once I'm done with my degree. In my poetry class, we workshopped poems this week. What's the crazy thing is that it's a documentary poetics class, as I've mentioned, and the professor is an anthropologist, and so we've been reading Michel de Certeau a little bit, and de Certeau came up in the readings for this week as well, talking about the concept of poaching, textual poaching in fandom. And so it was really cool that there was crossover between the two classes, which seem really different. So yeah, this coming week, I'm working on my questions for the discussion facilitation coming up on Thursday. So I'm preparing, my questions that I want to use to kind of guide the class, because I'm going to lead the discussion for about an hour. And then I'm working on my reflection paper as well on the readings. I'm also going to be commenting on some poems for my poetry workshop. We do like a little, some detailed comments to the poets. And then, I finished my reading for the foundations course. I'll do my reading for the poetry course. It's a lot of reading. I've probably spent, because I am reading quite closely, especially, coming up with these discussion topics, it's taken me some hours, and I'm not done. I haven't even written yet. So it's a lot. It's a lot of reading, and it's a lot of writing. You should just be aware of that. And if that's something that you're looking for, you know, then this may be the class for you. I enjoy it. It is a lot of work. I do have kids at home. Sometimes it makes me crazy trying to, you know, when you're trying to focus and you're getting constantly interrupted. But I have a supportive partner. I'm actually working on, okay, slightly personal segue, but I'm working on turning my closet. I have like a big walk-in closet. I'm going to like clean it out. It's really bad. I need to clean it out. I'm working on cleaning it out and turning it into like a little Zen meditation room, right? And that will give me a place to go when I just literally need to shut the door on everyone in the house. So I'm working on it. You have to prioritize your mental health, right? That's what we're told all the time, although we're not 100% sure how to do it. I'm working on it. I'm coming up with some tactics, okay? So that's my update for this week. I know it's a little bit long. If you're a nerd, maybe you enjoyed this. If not, my bad. I will be back on this coming Monday. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week and a super relaxing weekend, and I will see you soon.